At the heart of PLAYBEAT is the step sequencer, and we'll start here by loading some samples to get you going with your first groove. By default, PLAYBEAT loads up with a blank project, allowing you to load your own samples in. To do this, you can click on the numbers next to each channel, and you can either drag and drop from your DAW's browser straight into the sample slot on that channel, or you can simply click on the sample space on that channel to choose one of the samples from PLAYBEAT's library. Within the library, you can see 3 different columns. On the left-hand side, you have presets and packs. We'll come back to this a little bit later. And then underneath there, you have the samples. Under there, you have various folders of samples. And at the bottom, you're able to add your own sample folders from your hard drive. In the middle column, you'll see all the samples for the currently selected folder on the left, and you'll be able to audition each one of these samples. There's a heart icon next to each one of these samples to like it and put it in your favorites. The favorites can be accessed from the left-hand menu here. And then you have an icon on the right-hand side here that allows you to locate that sample on your hard drive and reveal it in your Finder. Let's start by adding a folder from our hard drive to get the samples that we want to. Simply find the folder that you want to, and then click Open. This will now add it to the left-hand menu here. And when you click on it, you can see all the samples within it. In the right-hand column, you can see all of the channels available within PLAYBEAT, all 8 channels, and we can simply drag and drop samples from the middle column onto each one of those sample slots. When you finish assigning all of your samples, hit the cross icon in the top right-hand corner to return back to the main interface. To get a simple groove going, we're going to simply add some manual notes into the step sequencer. And we can do this by first selecting our step section and then by drawing the notes in on the step sequencer. Simply click on any of the circles to highlight them with orange. And if you want to remove a note, just click it again. Next to each channel on the left-hand side, you have a solo control, a mute control, and on the right-hand side, you have the ability to erase all of the steps. A lock button. This allows you to lock the channel so that any of the randomization functions at the top are not applied to that channel. And then a copy button. You can click and drag this to any other channel within here to copy those steps. With a channel selected, you can go through using the controls at the top to edit that sample. For example, you can use the random button here to choose a random sample from the folder that you're currently in. Or you can use the left and right arrows here to cycle through the different samples in that folder. Clicking on the sample edit button will allow you to edit the sample for that channel. Within here, you can set the in point, the out point, and the fade in and fade out of that sample. If you want to reset this sample back to its default, hit the reset button. By default, the timing of the step sequencer is 1/16. However, you can control this with this control here. To give you an idea how this works, I'm going to switch over to all channels and I'm going to select this for all channels. However, this setting is available for every individual channel, so you can create some really interesting mixed effects. You then have shift control for the notes, so you are able to shift them right and left. And finally, we have a shuffle control to add some swing into your groove. Again, you can jump into the individual channels and change the shuffle amount for every individual channel to create some really mixed, interesting results. You can now see that we have 77% shuffle on channel 4, but if I switch over to channel 3, we have the old 50% there. If we want to set it all back to the same, we can go back to all and then set it via here. And as you can see, when we go back to channel 4, that has now been reset to the global amount. By default, the step sequencer is set to 16 steps. However, we can switch it over to 32 steps. And there is also a range slider to select and play a certain range within those 32 steps.